Wetlands are areas where water covers the soil or near the surface of the soil all year. Wetlands are vital ecosystems. They have many functions and provide important ecological services. They serve as a valuable wildlife habitat for many different species of plants and animals. Wetlands play a role in improving the water quality, preventing erosions, and control flooding. Wetlands have 11 functions: flood protection, mixes nutrients and oxygen, removes sediments, filters out any impurities, neutralizes toxic substances, cleans the environment, serves as a wildlife habitat, nursery, and a resting place, creates a food production, and is used for recreational activities. The wetlands are also protected by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They regulate activities in waterways and wetlands under the authority of federal laws.
The wetlands habitat has many different plants and animals. Some plants are cattails, lizard tails, and marsh elder. Cattails look like hot dogs, but turn fluffy and white when it matures. The leaves grow in a corkscrew pattern. Lizard tails have small, heart-shaped leaves, long spears of white flowers, and the fruit is long and straight, like lizard tails. Marsh elder has elongated leaves with teeth along its edges. The leaves are fleshy for water retention, and the marsh elders have opposite branching patterns. In the wetlands, some animals and birds are the great blue heron, American beaver, and common muskrats. The great blue heron is a tall, bluish-gray bird with a long, pointed bill and an S-shaped neck. It is 4 feet tall and has a wingspan of 6 to 7 foot. The beaver is a large, brown semi-aquatic mammal with a distinctive flattened paddle-like tail. The muskrat is also a semi-aquatic mammal with brownish fur and a long rubber tail.
There are 4 wetland types: the marsh, the swamp, the bog, and the fen. The marsh is frequently inundated and can either be fresh or salt water. There is tidal and non-tidal here, and the main source of water is mostly found on the surface. However, water can also be underground. The marsh has a soft steam vegetation and has plenty of nutrients that lead to a variety of plants and animals. An example of a marsh is the Everglades. The swamp has fresh water and has saturated soil during the growing season and standing water during certain times of the year. The swamp has woody plants, water-tolerant trees, and some are dominated by shrubs. An example of a swamp is a mangrove swamp. The next is the bog. The bog has acidic water that covers spongy peat deposits. The source of water is from precipitation. There isn't much standing water, and the water type is fresh water. The bog has a thick carpet of moss and is low in nutrients, so not many plants and animals live here, but does have carnivorous plants. Moccasins are an example of a bog. Lastly, out of the 4 is the fen. The fen's source of water is drainage from upslope sources and groundwater. There are conditions that form peats. It's less acidic than bogs and has fresh water. Fens have higher nutrients than bogs, so fens have more plants and animals, but is dominated by grasses, sedges, rushes, and wildflowers.
Wetlands have hydric soil. Hydric soil is the soil that is formed under conditions of saturation or flooding that lasts long enough to develop anaerobic conditions in the upper part of the soil. In order to be considered hydric, the soil needs to be saturated during the growing season. Hydric soils are high in organic content and usually have a malted color. Some indicators of wetland soils are if it is glade or malted soil near the surface, if the soil appears red just around the roots of the plant, it has a rotten egg smell, caused by an anaerobic bacteria converting sulfate in the soil to hydrogen sulfide, or has a high organic content caused by the fact that anaerobic bacteria are less efficient decomposing organic matter.